Big news coming out of Stamford Bridge. Chelsea are reportedly in talks with a Champions League contender over a potential loan deal for a striker who could bring the firepower we desperately need. With the January transfer window now open, is this the moment we see another key player donning the blue jersey? Stick around as we dive into the details and what this means for our title aspirations. And hey, if you want to stay updated on all things Chelsea, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Chelsea fans, we've got some exciting news on the transfer front, as the January window is officially open. Reports are swirling that Chelsea has made contact with Paris Saint-Germain regarding a potential loan move for striker Randal Kolo Muani. Now this is significant as Enzo Maresca, our manager, is clearly looking to add some serious firepower to our squad as we aim for the top of the Premier League. Despite being 10 points behind league leaders Liverpool, Maresca's start at Stamford Bridge has been promising. But let's be honest here. We need a new talisman to help close that gap, and Kolo Muani could be just the player we need. This guy has versatility. He can play across the front line, which is a huge asset. Although he's only scored 2 goals in PSG's opening 3 league fixtures this season, he hasn't seen much playing time lately, not making the matchday squad for the last 3 games. It's clear that he's not in Luis Enrique's plans right now, and that could work in our favor. As we look at potential competition, Manchester United, AC Milan, and RB Leipzig are also in the mix for Kolo Muani. However, Chelsea seems to be the frontrunner. But here's my question for you. Do you think he'd be the right fit for us? Personally, I can see the appeal, but I'm also cautiously optimistic. We've been linked with other strikers like Victor Osimhen and Ivan Toney in the past, but Kolo Muani brings a different dynamic that could be really beneficial. Now, let's talk about Christopher Nkunku. There are rumors floating around about him potentially leaving in January. Maresca has expressed his desire to keep Nkunku at the club, emphasizing how important he is to our project. However, if Nkunku feels he isn't getting enough game time, the situation could change. Fabrizio Romano, the transfer expert, has pointed out that the only way Nkunku leaves is if he actively asks to go. So far, that hasn't happened, but we all know how quickly things can change in football. This brings us to a crucial point. How do these potential transfers impact our chances this season? If we can secure Kolo Muani on loan, it could bolster our attack significantly and give us the depth we've been lacking. But if Nkunku were to leave, would that create a gap we can't fill? It's a delicate balancing act. And as fans, we need to be aware of how these decisions might affect our ambitions. I want to hear from you, Chelsea supporters. What do you think about the potential signing of Kolo Muani? Is this the best path forward for us? Personally, I'm torn. On one hand, I see the immediate benefits, but on the other, there's always the risk involved with loans. And Nkunku's situation is equally perplexing. Do we need to be concerned about losing such a talented player? Let's talk about it in the comments. I want to know your thoughts, your hopes, and your frustrations as we navigate this transfer window. Every decision can alter our season, and your voice matters. We've got some exciting news on the transfer front that could shake things up for us in January. Reports are swirling that Chelsea has held talks with the camp of PSG forward Randal Kolo Muani, and I'm buzzing to dive into what this could mean for our beloved Blues. Kolo Muani, who's currently earning a whopping $203,000 a week, has been given the green light to leave PSG by Luis Enrique. This is significant, folks. The French international has expressed a strong desire to make a move to the Premier League, and it seems like Chelsea is at the forefront of this race. His camp is actively working to secure a winter switch, and while there are other Premier League clubs in the mix, it's clear that Chelsea is his top preference. Now let's break this down a bit. Kolo Muani is a tremendous talent. He's quick, skilled, and brings a fresh dynamic to the forward line. With Chelsea currently finding themselves in a slight dip in form, adding someone of his caliber could be just what we need to reignite our attack. Yes, we've scored a lot of goals this season. Only Liverpool and Tottenham have outdone us, but we need that extra spark, especially after those recent losses to Fulham and Ipswich. I can't help but wonder how this potential signing could impact our chances of finishing in the top 4 and making a return to the Champions League. Enzo Maresca has done a fantastic job so far, but the slight downturn in form suggests we might need more depth and creativity up front to navigate the demanding fixtures ahead. We've got Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, and Manchester City coming up, and we need to be firing on all cylinders. Maresca mentioned fatigue being a factor in our recent performances, which makes sense given the packed schedule. He's already shown he can effectively manage an A and B team, but imagine adding Kolo Muani to the mix. It's a tantalizing thought. But here's the question. Is a loan move the best option for him? PSG might prefer a permanent deal, but a loan could allow us to assess how he fits into our system without a long-term commitment right away. I'm honestly torn about this. On one hand, a loan could provide us with immediate reinforcements, but on the other, we need to consider the long-term vision for the club. Do we want a player who's committed to the project, or are we looking for a quick fix? You see, Chelsea fans, this is where it gets tricky. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think a loan move is the right call, or should we push for a permanent deal? As we look ahead, it's crucial for us to stay optimistic and engaged with these developments. Chelsea has shown a willingness to act in the transfer market, and I have faith that Maresca and the board will make the right decisions to strengthen our squad. But we need to keep the conversation going as fans. So, what do you think about Kolo Muani potentially joining us? How do you feel about Chelsea's current form and our chances moving forward? I want to hear your opinions in the comments below. Are you excited about a new signing or worried about our performance? Let's get a discussion going. If you enjoyed this update and want to stay in the loop with all the latest Chelsea news, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. You'll want to be the first to know when we drop new content, especially with the transfer window heating up. Remember, we're all in this together as Chelsea fans, and our voices matter. Together, we can support the club through thick and thin. Let's rally behind our team and hope for some exciting news in January.